Hi creatives, I am Dima and you're welcome to another interesting sewing tutorial. On today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to draft this beautiful bustier corset dress that you can see on the screen. This one is not the regular bustier corset dress. This, you can see that the style line is not like the straight type, it's more like angled. If this sounds like what you're interested in, then you have to stick around till the end. Another interesting one here is the sequin design that you can see on the face. I'll put you through how to do all of this. If you've not subscribed to my channel, do well to do that to be the first to know each time I upload my videos. Let's get right into the video. To make this, I started with all of these. These are the fabrics I'll be using: the lace fabric, the you know lining, and of course the crepe fabric. I'll be making use of net as well, and the sequin fabric you can see here. So these are the materials I'll be using. I'll be putting you through the quantities as we progress in this video. So what I started with is the measurement of the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I took the basic neckline of 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I now connected it just as you can see me do, and then I had to drop by 1 inch and connect it to the neckline like so. Now the next is just to mark the half length. Okay, mark the half length and draw a horizontal line just as I did right here. So the next thing is to mark the on the bust. Okay, here I have the on the bust point and on the bust. Okay, here is the on the bust, and I am going ahead to measure more points along the on the bust line and then drew a horizontal line. Do well to just use your measurements or your client measurements while doing all of this. So you can see what I did. I had to come in on that waistline by 2 inches. Okay, all I'm doing here is to mark the length of the top, which is 23 inches. You know, it's an inbuilt corset. It's 23 inches I used as the length of the corset top. So right now I will just put the my pattern master here. So I'll just go ahead and draw this line like this. Okay, you can see how I drew it. What I measured on the length of this top is 2 inches from that center front. You can see how I took the dart for this. So I went in there by 1/4 and here by 3/4. So I'll go ahead and connect this to the bust point just like this. You can use your armhole curve to do the same thing that I'm doing right now. After doing it, I will now come in here by 1/4 and then connect like this. Do well to do exactly what I am doing in this tutorial and you get exactly the result I got. So I connected this to the base of the corset, that is the hemline of the corset. So what I did is to mark 6 inches, which is the that length from the waistline downwards, and I am using it as a guideline to complete my dart, and that is what I did. You can see that what I got there at the end of the blouse is about 1/4 inch, okay, which I'll be taking care of while cutting. So right here is the bust measurement divided by 4. If your bust measurement is 40, of course what you measure here is 10 inches. That is 40 divided by 4. And I will go ahead and mark it as well. So this is the waist measurement, plus that intake. Please, anything you want your waist to be or the waist of your client, this is when you're going to use it. How much you want it to be snatched, use it right here. Okay, so right here is the hip level. I like using hip level to shape the hip of the blouse. Okay, so now this is the hip line, but this is not the length of the blouse. The length of the blouse is 23 inches, and that is what I am making use of as the length. This hip is just a guideline to make sure that the hip of the blouse is not too much. So I connected the waistline to the hip just as you just saw me do. So right here is the across chest. I came in by 3/4. If you're confused of what I'm doing right here, I'll put the link to a basic torso foundation tutorial so that you be clear with everything I am doing right here for the basic measurements. Okay, so right here I had to drop by 6 inches And then I had to take a measurement here about 5 inches down from that shoulder tip, and I'm just trying to draw a sweetheart neckline. That is just what I'm trying to do right here. So I took, a level there, and it's about 2 inches from that basic neckline, and I'm trying to make a sort of queen and neckline for this. That is just what I drew, and you can see what I have. So yeah, we're almost getting done with what we have. I'm just there doing shoulder tightening of about 1/4 inch, and I connected to the shoulder tip, and here I am drawing the neckline really nicely. And that is just it for here. So the next is to just go ahead and cut this out, then we will progress with the other parts of the pattern drafting. So this is what it looks like, and ensure you follow all my process and you get exactly this. Here on the channel I share lots of easy to understand tutorials, and feel free to ask me questions if you do not understand anything I did in this tutorial. So here I am doing the over bust tightening. Okay, just choose a point along that neckline and take 1/2 inch on both sides of that point, then you connect to the bust point. So that is all I did. So the over bust tightening here is 1 inch. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take the side bust dart, which is the difference between the front half length and the back half length. So this is what I have, and I had to just go ahead and shed that part. So this all the parts that I'm shedding right here will be going off at the end of the whole pattern making. Do well to follow us on Instagram on Genjes_Couture and other social media handles on TikTok. Yes, and you will not regret being part of this community, as here we learn a whole lot on fashion and fashion tutorials. So right here, I'm going ahead to draft the back pattern. So to make the back pattern, I had to take the shoulder measurement, just as you can see me do, and I am going ahead to draw this line. Shoulder measurement divided by 2, that is what I just took, and this is the basic neckline for the back, which is 3¼ by 1 inch. That is what I used. I dropped by 1 inch, and the width is 3¼ so I dropped that by 1, and I'm connecting to the neckline. That is simply the shoulder slope. So right here I'm measuring the bust measurement divided by 4, yes, just as I did in front, and I marked a vertical line to depict that. So the next thing to do is to draw the armhole. Okay, so what I did here is to check the across back, come in by 1/2 inch, and then draw the armhole measurement divided by 2. That is what I did here, and I am going ahead to draw the armhole. I say again, if you are confused of anything I did, go ahead and ask in the comments, but I will put links in the description box that will clarify most of the basic things I did on this pattern making. So right here I marked the half length. I've already taken the blouse length as well, so you can see what I did. Back tightening, and I marked the waistline plus the that intake. Please, anything you want your client's waist to be snatched to, that is what you're going to use as the waistline, not like the regular waist. If your client's regular waist is 36 and you want it to be snatched to 34, use 34 inches. Okay, so that is what I did here, and you can see how I connected for the back tightening. So that is just what I have. I had to measure from the waistline to where the length of the blouse got to, and that is what I'm measuring here for the back, because waistline to the hem of the blouse is the same for front and back. The difference in their length comes from the shoulder to the waistline. I hope you understand. So having done this, I am just going in further by 1/2 inch because I want the waist of my client to be snatched more. So going in further by 1/2 inch means I am taking away about 2 more inches from what I have snatched it from already. So that is what I did there, and I am marking here the waist measurement. Okay, divided by 2. That is what I marked there just to take my dart intake. Okay, I connected the dart. I took it to 6 inches from the waistline. Yeah, I like doing my darts like that. So having done this, I took a point here. Okay, that is like a midpoint, like the waist midpoint. That is what I did, and I ensured it did not cross 1 inch below the armhole. Yes, it's a guideline. Don't let your dart, you know, exceed upwards 1 inch above the armhole. So here I am cutting out the back. It's as simple as that. And after cutting it out, I will go ahead and continue with the rest of the pattern making. So you can see what we have here. You can see the back tightening. I'll still cut it out. So what I'm doing here is to know what the neckline drop is like. I finally decided to drop it by 6. Okay, you know it's dropped by 1 inch already from the basic. I dropped it further by 6. Okay, so I am trying to just take a yoke styling here. So what I did is to get the front and mark exactly a guideline that I use for the front neckline, so that there will be a sort of uniform. It will be sort of uniform with the front. Okay, so I took that 5 inch and I styled the yoke. Here I am just thinking how best I will style the yoke for this. So this is what I have at the end of the day. I decided to style it just the way you can see in this video. Feel free to style your yoke just the way you prefer. So here I am trying to take a level for the corset. Okay, that is for the loops. So I took 3 inches from that center back, observing the tightening. Okay, and this is what I have. If you want it to be in triangular form, feel free to do that, but this is what I want for mine. And after doing that, where I shaded will be going off, just as you can see. Okay, if you feel 3 inches is too wide for you, you can make use of 2.5 or 2 inches. Feel free to do you. Of course, there will be a modesty panel to block off the back. So this is what I have for the neckline. I came in front by 2 inches. That is the same thing I did for the neckline of the back, so that everything will be uniform and rhyme really nicely. So having done that, I came in here by 1/2 inch. I tightened the back further by 1/2 inch. So I did the same for the front, so that the front and the back will of course have the same measure of tightening. Okay, so having tightened this one by 1/2 and the back by 1/2. Okay, it's half one fold, which is 1 inch. That means I'm removing extra 2 inches from the waistline of my client, because earlier I removed just 1 inch from the waistline to draft the pattern with. Feel free to snatch as much as you want. Okay, so this is what I have here, and I will just go ahead and start cutting on fabric. I'll dissect this pattern and then go ahead and cut it on fabric. So this is how to make your angular design when you want to get a sort of angled bustier styling. So this is what I have, and I'm cutting out the front first. You can see that every part that I shaded is going off, just as I said earlier, and I'll go ahead and cut this on crepe fabric, and then onto, before I go ahead to apply the interfacing and every other thing that needs to be done on this before we progress to sewing. I will also cut on lining fabric. Okay, so I use crepe for this. Yes, you know that crepe fabric is a bit stretchy. I'm also using a lining that is a bit stretchy to go with the crepe fabric. Okay, so I used crepe as the interfacing for this project. So you can see what I have here. I'm cutting out the center back because it's going to have loops, eyelet loops on at the back. So after cutting on fabric, you can see what I have. I've cut it on the crepe fabric, and you can see what it looks like. I'll go ahead and cut this on too as well, and then I will go ahead and apply the necessary interfacing. And yes, that will be it for this tutorial, but in my next I'll be putting you through the whole process of putting it together. But just stay with me as I put you through the interfacings that I used for this project. You can see what I have cut already. I'll go ahead and cut it on net as well. You can see the interfacing. It is just hairstay and wording. Okay, so it's hairstay that I applied at the stage, and I've gone ahead to cut the tool that is the net fabric for this. I used red mesh, so that is what I am using, red net. So I'll be placing it on the tool like this, and in my next tutorial, I'll share with you all of the process I took to apply the ridgeline boning, to put all of this together, to design the sequin, to make the eyelet, loops at the back, how I boned before I boned the cloth without before I put my eyelet holes, and every other thing I did to bring this clothes to a finish. I was actually in a hurry and didn't know that I did not capture this dress on the dress form, but trust me, this dress came out so beautiful. You can even, feel it from this place that I put it. Okay, you can see what it looks like. It came out so nice, and you can be rest assured, you can see how I designed all of this sequin, and I put some applique on the waist line just to rhyme with what we have in the picture that we are trying to replicate. So this is what I have, and it came out so beautiful. My client was happy with the outcome, and it was so gorgeous. I was happy as well. Yes. So if you want to see how I put all of this together, you stay to till the next tutorial, which will be dropping really soon, and see how I put it together. If you have not subscribed to my channel, why haven't you? Go ahead and subscribe, because you will not regret it. Here on the channel, I share lots of easy to understand sewing tutorials that you will definitely be learning a whole lot from. You can see just the example of what I did here using crepe and then mesh on it, the effect it gave, and why you do all of that I will explain in the next tutorial. This community is definitely where to belong. No regrets, and you will be happy you did. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.